Everybody, welcome to a Friday edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder, and let me get ready to bring in the other comedians who you guys have known. They've been in comedy and films and television and all this stuff from all around the world. They've been in it for a very long time. First up is my man Talent. He's been in Def Comedy Jam. He's been in he's been in everything. He's been in films and everything else. Next up after that is my man, Mr. Rodney Perry. He joins the show too. Rodney Perry's been in a lot of things also, and most recently Coming to America film. And my man, the comedian known as Fig. He's also been in a lot of stuff, and he's been so known in comedy and comedy commercials and everything else. People they stop him on the street and say, "Hey, I know you." So these are my guys right now. The show is called Box Seats. Now, what I normally do every day is I already jump into a COVID report. But before I do that, first of all, guys, how you guys doing today?
Yeah. Good morning. I got my red on.
Roddy, how you doing today, brother?
Oh, I'm great. Just woke up from my nap.
Oh, okay. So that's Rodney's problem. Okay, let's jump into this first thing, man. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the news,
What about Fig?
Fig said he's doing. He answered. So you didn't hear that part. He was half asleep. Fig said, yeah. yeah. So you didn't hear that part. Bill's GM, his name is Brandon Beane. He is making news this morning because he said he will consider cutting unvaccinated players who want to report for NFL training camp this year. Now, that's a huge step, as you can imagine, for this COVID thing and everything else like that. So, Talent, when you hear that first thing this morning, what are you thinking?
Well, it sounds like the government's got their hand on this already. If you look everywhere, they are campaigning like crazy to make everybody take these vaccines. So I don't doubt that the government's behind the scenes, tapping into the big organizations like the NFL and the baseball and the NBA, everything professional that's regulated in this country. Expect the government to be like vaccines. So I think he's playing along. He's a counterpart, the underling of what they're trying to do.
Right. Rodney Perry, do you see the other NFL teams marching right behind the Buffalo Bills and doing this? And what's your thoughts on the Bills doing this right now, being the first team?
I mean, it will not only be the other teams, but you'll see other corporations. This is just the beginning. And it's crazy because we were just talking about this months ago, and everybody was a hard no on the vaccine, and nobody's a hard no anymore.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, Fig, what's your thoughts on this?
Par for the course, man. I saw it coming. I figured like people would start doing that. You know what I mean? Start making the vaccine mandatory in other places. They already got it for cruise lines. They got it for airlines. I knew it was coming.
Yeah. The thing is the Bills are the first team. I expect in 2 or 3 weeks, other teams will step forward and say that, especially as the NFL season gets ready to move along. I just expect that. And bad news, I gotta say, I don't know if you guys got a chance to hear this news, but the Texas Longhorns linebacker named Jake Ellinger, he was found dead off campus. There's been no cause of death and no suspicious death and everything else. People are thinking it's a mental health issue. People are thinking that he was very depressed and everything like that. And Talent, mental health is a serious issue in this country, especially down for the youngsters who have so much pressure putting on them. People overlooking this. But when you hear that a player who literally 2 years out, people were expecting he could have been drafted in the league in about 2 years, this has got to be super sad.
Yeah, I also think that what we don't factor in a lot of the time when we talk about mental health and mental illness, man, on a regular community effort, it's amazingly like broad spectrum. Now imagine people who are dealing with it off and on, and they go into sports and these full contact sports. I'm no scientist or doctor, but I would have to imagine a guess that takes an extra toll. Like if you're out there, because we're talking about the brain, we're talking about banging it up, you talk about CTE and all this stuff, you're already dealing with mental illness, and your mental stuff is not calibrated correctly, and then you're out there full contact, banging and slamming and hitting the ground. That got to take a toll, an extra toll, than what mental illness is already doing.
Right. I think you're absolutely right. I think it could be a lot to do with CTE and all that other stuff. Rodney Perry, what's your thoughts?
I don't know the particulars of this story. When they say he passed away, he just dropped dead, and how are we linking that to mental illness? I don't understand.
The reason why is because it was not a suspicious death. He wasn't murdered. He was just found in his room dead. So people are assuming right now that he had either because there's no details have been released by Texas. People are assuming if it's not foul play, they're thinking he was just found in his room. He inflicted something upon himself. And people have been saying in his camp and everything else that he hasn't been the happiest player. So that's why people are saying, oh my goodness, he passed away. That's basically what. Now again, there haven't been any details released. I have no idea. I looked for it. I couldn't find anything on it.
Right.
Let me throw it back to you. Just say, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, why would they? I don't know why people would leap to that. Of course, okay, he's a sad guy, but they leap to suicide. I mean, that's odd to me. But I mean, I guess if the guy was going through it, he was going through it. And I mean, I feel sorry for his family, man. That's a really sad thing. It's really, and it's sad that people around him would leap to that conclusion too. It's crazy.
Yeah, Fig, what's your thoughts, bro?
I echo what Talent Rodney said. It's sad. We don't know if it's CTE that made him do that. But the one thing that we do know, going back to the COVID thing, is that this COVID has not only taken its toll physically and having people lose their lives, get sick, and what have you, but it's also the guidelines surrounded it has compromised people that have mental health issues. Even a mental health issue that's been lying dormant. If you're cooped up in the house and you can't go along with your regular activities, that starts to wear on you mentally, and you can see it's coming out.
Right. I guess the next topic I want to bring up, man, is I know all of us saw this yesterday. Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather, they were doing their press junket thing to promote the fight that's happening in June. They were doing that and everything else, and it quickly got out of hand. Now, when I saw it, I don't know about you, Talon, but when I saw it, I thought the whole thing was staged because Jake Paul snatched his hat off, said, "I got your hat." Next thing you know, it was a big camaraderie and everything else. And I'm sorry to say, Talon, people who pay for this, man, they got to be plumb fools. I wouldn't pay for this fight.
I agree.
What's your thoughts?
I agree with you. It's shenanigans is what it is. You know, if you ever had a chance to use that word, you do now. Shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stupid. That's why I can't pay for this stuff no more, man. And like the fight game and the boxing game blending and all that now, it's like everything's entertainment. You know what I mean? And instead of going in there and handling your business, you could be entertaining leading up to, you could be entertaining afterwards, celebrating. But let's get a real competitive thing going here. You know what I mean? So the camaraderie and the fanhood could get back to where it normally is. They just playing around to me. Like, I wouldn't pay for it.
Me neither. Rodney Perry, what's your thoughts on that when you saw that drama?
I mean, it's boxing at its best, man. I mean, first of all, when you decide to get in the ring with an amateur, you got to do something to sell a fight. And so, contrary to what people say about Floyd Mayweather, he's a brilliant guy. He's a great promoter, and I'm sure he's behind this, and people are going to buy it. And this young man, Jake Paul, is going to have a hell of a payday. Congratulations.
He sure is. Big, what's your thoughts?
Muhammad Ali once said, they don't know how to make no gate, which basically means they don't know how to promote a fight. And that's what Muhammad Ali was the best at it, man. He would talk a lot of trash and create a whole lot of hoopla around the fight and stuff like that, naming his opponents and stuff. And Floyd just took a page out of his book, man. He's fighting this kid whose last fight had millions of viewers. And Floyd said, add my superstar to it and create a little drama around it, a little animosity, and more people are going to want to see it. One, either see me win and knock his block off for stealing my hat, or two, let this kid knock me out and beat me up and sully my 50-0 record. Either way, he's making the gate.
Does anybody here think that after what happened last night is not gonna move the needle? Does anybody think it's not gonna? Because I do think that the shenanigans that they did last night is gonna move the needle up dramatically. Because I think a lot of people are gonna fall for that. Anybody disagree with that statement?
No, I mean, but the people that's falling for this is a different crowd, you know. And one thing I said to myself yesterday after watching a lot of the amount of programming coming out of all these different, avenues and platforms. I said, you know what? America's finally got to the place, media-wise anyway, where they say, you know what? There's going to be a crowd for anything, no matter what we put out.
Mhm.
If you could create shows like Hoarders, the porn joint, where they go to the, the thing in bed on, you got the porn shop joint, you got the storage wars, so you're gonna have a crowd that gather around anything now, anything. So yeah, they're gonna have a crowd.
Agree, disagree, Rodney, Fig?
Oh, are they gonna have a crowd? It's gonna be a big ass crowd. I'm telling you. And how about this? It might not even be Floyd. It might be this young white kid that's really spurring that energy. He snatched the hat. Because I don't know about y'all, but Floyd reaction looked real.
Yeah, Floyd's did, but I think he got super excited because he got disrespected. I think they talked about something ahead of time, and I think Jake Paul did something and winged it that they didn't plan. You know what I mean? Because he did look really upset. But again, the whole thing seemed staged to me. You know what I mean?
But Floyd always going to come up. You're talking about a dude that can't spell GOAT. He said he's the GOAT, but he can't spell GOAT. Have you ever seen that interview on Drink Champs? He did an interview on Drink Champs. So you know what it is. It's what I do. I'm the GOAT. He said, you the GOAT? He said, yeah, capital G, capital A, capital O, capital T. And okay, all right. At that point, I digress.
All right, let me move on to the next topic, man.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. You forgetting me.
Okay.
I think the new people.
He said, okay, like it was your fault. Like, yeah, I forgot you.
I think the younger people are gonna buy the fight, man. I mean, older cats like us, man, we've been around, we seen the fight game. We're not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe. But young people, they'll fall for the banana in the tailpipe, man. They gonna spend some money for this fight.
Yeah, you get young people buy anything.
Yeah. Let me move on to the next topic. The next topic is Ohio. I don't know if you guys have even been paying attention, but Ohio stepped up. The state of Ohio, they are the latest state to propose transgender sports ban, meaning, and they're stepping forward first because they're saying they're not going to let any transgender girls play in any sports right now. So the transgender girls are banned in particular, first and foremost, from playing in any sports first and foremost. So, Talent, what's your thought when you hear about this part?
Well, I'm confused. I mean, excuse my ignorance, but I don't know what the transgender girl or the boy is. Is what you end up being or where you started?
I think it's end up being. I don't know.
Good. It's a good question, huh?
Right? Yeah.
I'm not letting no transgender girl. Hold on a second. What is that? So, is it where you start or where you end up? That is a genius question. I'm gonna leave that out there, just like that.
All right, Rodney Perry, what's your thoughts?
You know you're confused, right? Can we be honest with it? Can we be honest on the show? I'm the only one that's like, damn, is it the girl she started?
We all are, but regardless.
It's the absolute girl. It's the guy that became a girl.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. See, I didn't know that either.
The guy that became a girl, exactly.
Yeah, I knew.
Okay.
All right, but go ahead, Rodney. What's your thoughts?
Why would it be a question any other way? So,
you know what? I forgot you live in Atlanta. My bad.
I do live in Atlanta, but that has no bearing on the subject.
No, you're a little more educated than me. Sorry.
That's not true either. Look, we talked about this. This came out from another state,
right.
and that was for it. And I think what you're seeing now is the country really trying to figure this out because the fact of the matter is that the male that becomes a female has an advantage. And so looks like Ohio has took a hard look at it. My daughter and I, we talked about it, and she thinks they should be able to play. But I'm like, you don't want to compete against a former guy that's fast as hell.
Right.
It's just not fair.
Right. Fig, what's your thoughts?
I think we talked about this before. I'm with Rodney, and it's strange that he used the terminology that he did. He said that Ohio took a hard look at this particular subject. which was amazing to me. But I'm all for it, man. I mean, look, a guy transitioning over to be a woman still has the amount of testosterone as a man. I don't care what you do, whether you have the operation or not, you still have the testosterone of a male, which makes it unfair to females that you will be competing against. The same way, like I said before, that it's unfair if a female takes steroids. Steroids fills you with testosterone, and that's why it's illegal, because it boosts you. It makes you stronger, your muscle mass and stuff like that. It's the same thing. So I think kudos to Ohio. I don't think it's discrimination in any way. I think it's just making it fair for girls to be able to compete on an equal level.
Okay. All right. So that's the question. I'm going to ask you guys one more question about this thing and everything else. If you guys recall, a couple of weeks ago, I even brought up the point about the NCAA, and the NCAA was saying that they are going to allow transgender. They were having an issue with this. They were going to allow transgender. So I see, and I'll start with you, Talent. I see a big confrontation happening because the state of Ohio is going to move forward with this. They're going to conflict with the NCAA with, saying yay or nay. So I see an issue in college sports coming in the next 18 months that's going to be very, very vindictive to one side versus another. I think Ohio is saying this stuff to basically, say something to the NCAA. What's your thoughts now?
Well, what's about to happen is we're about to see sports play out like we watched our government play out for the last year, meaning you have an overall federal view, and state by state, they were doing different things. So there was this battle with the certain states, and depending on who was in the White House, with the federal decisions. So this is about to transcend down, it's about to come down the totem pole in the sports world. You got the NCAA saying, nah, and then you got these people saying, no, it's cool. So organizations like Ohio State, those are the states. The colleges are going to become the states, and the whole NCAA becomes like the president or the federal government. So they're about to do the exact same thing, and they're going to have to come to some mutual ground.
Right. Because Rodney Perry, I'm going to throw this to you. The NCAA said they will not allow any colleges to participate in the NCAA tournament on a Division I round or division rounds period if they don't allow transgenders in the sport. So they're coming to a head pass. What you think, Rodney?
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, like you said, we talked about this last week, and it's crazy now to have Ohio take a different stand. But I agree with Ohio, and I have daughters that are currently in collegiate sports, and I don't want my daughter competing against a woman that was a guy.
Right.
Again, it's not fair, and I like that Ohio made a stand. But NCAA might push back again. So we got to keep an eye on this.
Right. Fig, do you think that the NCAA is going to win in this one? Or do you think that the state of Ohio is going to lead other states into this, hey, no transgender thing, and that's what we feel, period? What do you think is going to happen?
The one thing that I always credit the NCAA for is having a degree of fairness in their sports and try and make things all equal. I'm all for, transgender and people, doing whatever it is that they need to do to have their equal rights as far as their sexuality is concerned. But when it comes to competing in sports, it just is not fair. I mean, maybe they should have their own like little section. You got the men, you women, and then the transgenders that want to go up against each other, because to have former men, like Talon and Rodney said, to have former men that transition over to being a woman compete against girls is an unfair advantage all day, every day. And we separate men's and women's sports everywhere. There's the NBA, the WNBA, it's women's sport. I mean, men are just built different. And until we wrap our head around that and still be able to make things equal for transgenders, then we're always going to have a problem.
I'm going to make a Pelican brief. Here's my Pelican brief, guys. Here it is. My Pelican brief is is the first transgender who tries to, compete on an NCAA level and can't do it. They're going to sue the college and win a lot of money because they're going to bring it forth and say that it's not equal rights, and they're going to win. And then what will be the outcome? I don't know. But I promise you, I can see a huge lawsuit coming from somebody who was a guy who wants to play as a girl and nobody else wants to play with him. That's basically what it boils down to.
That's why I hate these people in this country, man. We're too petty. You can't even go to a good Hooters no more. You know what I mean? Hooters is straight flat-chested now because one chick with no boobs said this is discrimination. Sued Hooters, and now anybody can work at Hooters. That's so whack. I want to get some buffalo wings. I want buffalo wings and boobs. But I get there, I just got the buffalo wings.
And the funny thing, what if they start what if guys start to sue Hooters and say, hey, I wanna be on the wait staff too? He said, yeah, but this is Hooters. He was like, yeah, but I want to be like, when this is, look, get back to sports. When this is not a problem? When women that transfer or change their gender to men and they want to compete against men, that's where it won't be a problem.
Rodney, what?
Transfer?
I don't know. Change over. I don't know what it's called. I'm not trying to be funny. Transition.
The man took 2 buses to get there. Can I get a transfer? It kills me when they want to transfer to the.
I need an Adderall.
Yo, I mean, guys, I know this is all new to us, and I'm just as confused as you are. But we're gonna have to figure this out as men because this ain't going nowhere.
Oh, it's nowhere. No time soon.
This trans conversation is really real, and talent. You might not only have a flat-chested Hooters, but she may have a little
surprise. She have a surprise for you.
Surprise, them little tight shorts.
Hey, look, I don't give a hoot.
She might be flat-chested with a bulge.
All right, Joe. Let me move on. The next thing I want to drop up there is I don't know if you guys got a chance to see this, but the Los Angeles Angels designated Albert Pujols for assignment in his 10th year of a 10-year contract of $240 million. Now, of course, the word leaked out from LA. I called a couple of my friends who follow baseball out there. They're saying a lot of this is because he's batting so bad, and because that pitcher Shohei Ohtani. Yeah. He's a two-way player. He's playing ball every day, and he's a pitcher. But because he's playing so well, Pujols got designated for assignment. Now, this is a baseball conversation. It kind of gets in depth. But I'm going to say this. I think they cut him loose because that contract was so steep.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't think it had anything to do with the play. But Talent, what's your thoughts?
Well, my first thought that comes to mind is like how much of that contract gets honored. Like even when you cut somebody loose, how much are you obligated? Or how much money are you saving that you don't have to pay out? That's the first thought. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we know this guy. We know his history and his body of work. If they cut him, it's got to be because of production or lack thereof. You know what I mean? And then the only thing that pushes you out quicker than lack of production is when I got an ace in a hole that's giving production. Right. You know what I mean? Like I will release this person much quicker knowing I got a backup plan.
Exactly. Rodney Perry, Albert Pujols is definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame, right?
Absolutely. But here's the crazy part. It's like these athletes expect some sort of loyalty from these teams, and it's not going to happen. Yep. Like, no matter how good you were or how much you invested your body and your career to this sport, know this. Father Time is undefeated. Your ass will go one day.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about that. Well, Fig, you expect Albert Pujols to land on another team, or is he going to retire? What's your thoughts?
I think he could possibly land on another team. If I'm not mistaken, I'll have to lean towards your expertise, Franks. I think that in the Major League Baseball, their contracts are fully guaranteed. So whether they release him or not, they still got to pay him whatever his contract says. So
yeah, he's going to get paid.
Huh?
Yeah, he's getting paid. There's no doubt about it. He's going to get paid. But the thing is since he's getting paid, he can go to another team for peanuts if the team wants to pick him up. But here's a big but. He's only batting 193. You know what I mean? So he's batting horribly. So, well, another team want to pick him up. You know, we'll see.
Well, maybe it's the uniform. Maybe if he switched teams, I've seen that happen.
Yeah,
change the uniform. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
That's the talent we want to use talent. We just got finished talking about transgenders. Now you want to talk about switching teams?
wait. Something gonna happen to him.
I'm not even gonna. Something
gonna happen to him.
I'm not. All right, let me throw this thing out to you real fast too, because time is moving fast, man. So the Lakers lost twice last night. Okay, they lost twice last night. They lost the game, and they lost AD in the same game because he supposedly went out for back spasms and everything else. Go
to Rodney first.
Okay, I go to Rodney first because Rodney, he said go to you first. So what's your thoughts on this, Rodney Gray? With the Lakers losing twice in one game.
It's a big hit, man. I mean, they're looking forward to going down the home stretch of the season and going to the playoffs with their guys. And the reality is, it's looking like those guys were really hurt. I mean, because we were speculating that maybe they were doing some type of load management, but a back spasm is like an injury that happens when your body hasn't been operating at that level. So I don't think he's gone for the season, but I think if he can get himself back up to speed, they can still put up a fight in the playoffs.
Okay.
Season? What season? It's over.
Go ahead, Tal. It's all you.
He said, I don't think he's going for the season. Negro, it's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. You got your backless, your ankleless. You're done. You're done. That purple and yellow can't be nothing but picnic tablecloth now, bro.
Which is very fair, and only a person who's a fan of a losing team will really have a grasp of it.
I think that's why he wanted you to go first, but I'm not saying nothing.
I thought about Rodney. I'm in the bar, and that thing happened, and I'm like, "Ooh!" I was like, "Where the hell is my phone? I need my phone." I wanted to rub it in so bad. Damn phone in the other room. Listen, I don't wish I hate injuries on people, but this should be the closure that we've been talking about for weeks. Are they going to make it? Are they going to make the play-in? Blah, blah, blah. And they're slipping down. They got a tough schedule and all that. It's the end now, bro. And Drummond's a good additive, but Drummond's not that guy to take it over and sustain it over the top. You do need those two guys. And that's it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
If they make a run and mess around and win, is LeBron James the GOAT?
No. We're not. That's not the conversation we're about to have right now. We talked about the game last time. We talk about the game. We talk about the game.
Conversation.
Yeah, we talk about the game in reality right now. You know what I mean? If we want to change the conversation, I could change the conversation to the
Listen, we'll talk about that. Yeah. Don't bring up Space Jam until it comes out.
Write it down.
Yeah.
Until Space Jam come out, let's not talk about it.
Greg, what's your thought?
Look for the penalty.
The thing is that I don't know if Anthony Davis was in Space Jam with his partner LeBron James. The movie that I know that Anthony Davis will be starring in is the movie Unbreakable with Sam Jackson. And he's gonna be the new Mr. Glass. Because every time he get on court, he get injured. But I swear to God, I ain't never seen nobody injured as much as AD in my entire NBA career, man. Absolutely horrible. I'm sorry. It's terrible.
You know what's sad about that, Fig? On some real stuff? Like, he's a 7-footer, right? I can see if he played like a 7-footer down there banging and getting in all that mess, that you can get into in basketball. He's playing the weakest way a 7-footer could play. Run out by the key, top of the, you know what I mean? 3-pointer, short jumper, staying out of the bang bang. Yeah. He's getting hurt.
And you know what's even worse than that? He wasn't even on the court when he got injured. He was on the bench.
So Rodney Perry pulled up his piece of paper. He's hot off the wire or something. So what you hot off the wire with now, Rodney?
Actually, AD is going to start a film. It's going to be called Backdraft.
Yo,
Why you want to have a
Anthony
show called
Davis,
Backdraft
you
when
know-
you talk about transgender stuff? Why you want to do that, Rodney Perry?
yo, talent. Anthony Davis is like the character on Good Times when Thelma was going to marry the football player Keith, and he got injured in the living room. He tripped over JJ. That's what happened to AD yesterday.
Wow.
He got injured reaching for the clipboard for the play. It was a timeout. It's like, hand me that clipboard. Ah! What the?
Y'all are doing good. So let me ask you this. I'm gonna start with you, Talent. I'm gonna start with you. Do you think the Warriors are gonna catch the Lakers? Because the Lakers are playing the Blazers tonight, right? The Warriors are just sitting there. The Lakers and Blazers are tied for the 6th place right now, and now the Warriors are now in the 8th position right now. If the Lakers lose tonight and the Blazers win, the Lakers could fall to the 8th position after tonight's game. So do you think the Warriors are going to gain and catching the Lakers?
Oh, absolutely. Because first of all, we could dial that win in for Portland. They will win tonight, and with that win and loss situation so tight right there, they'll drop to the 8, so they'll be within a half a game of each other. And absolutely, you already know Golden State still got enough pieces to make a little mini run at the end. So yeah, I see them passing the Lakers.
All right, Rodney Perry, what's your thoughts on this?
Man, you know what, man? You guys really sicken me. You can dial that in, really? So dial it in. Dial it in.
So you agreeing? You agreeing that the Lakers are going to lose? Or you agreeing that the Lakers are going to win?
Of course not. They're going to win. The last time the Lakers lost 2 games in a row.
The last 2 games.
Exactly. So which means they ain't never lost 3 in a row, right?
I don't know.
They never lost 3 games in a row. In a year. Mr. LeBron been there.
All right, Fig, what's your thoughts?
This gotta be live because that could, that could have never happened. He's like, when did the time Lakers on 2 games in a row? That's 2 games.
And look at Rodney's face.
Yo, that was crazy.
Oh, y'all are hilarious. Fig, what's your thoughts?
I said this a while ago. I was like, wouldn't it be ironic if because of the injury to Anthony, just prior to this last injury, the injury before that one, that if LeBron James and Anthony Davis don't come back in time, that they make the play-in and then they have to go up against the Golden State Warriors for a 1 game, like a one-off. I was like, wouldn't that be ironic that you have to face Steph Curry again for a 1 game to see if you're going to make it into the playoffs? I said that would be a dangerous game because if he gets hot, he's like pretty much unstoppable. And it seems like that is extremely possible right now because of health.
Yeah, absolutely right. I think the crazy thing is the Lakers could mess around and not even make the playoffs if they lose their next 4 or 5 games. You know what I mean? And they could do that. It's a good possibility because if the Blazers continue to gain ground and the Warriors continue to gain ground and the Pelicans and Ja Morant's team, if they all continue to gain ground, the Lakers, Memphis, they literally could be messing around and not even make the playoffs.
Listen to what y'all saying. If you just said 5 different ifs.
Yeah, and all of them are real possibilities.
And Memphis is in the ifs.
Yeah, they're 10.
Are you losing your? Wipe your glasses off, Frank.
All right. We'll see. Well, this time next week, we will know. That's one thing for sure. We will know.
So, just to be clear, what needs to happen?
What needs to happen is the Lakers need to lose 3 of the last 4 games, or 4 of the last 5 games, which are very tough games for them the next couple games, starting tonight.
Right.
And the Warriors need to win, and Ja Morant's team needs to win, and
Memphis,
and they could be sitting around. Oh, and let's not forget the Pelicans. They could be sitting around and not even in all together. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, let me
you're talking about an 8-team cluster of games.
Rodney, you might not be hearing me, right? But I'm gonna say this again. It's a very real possibility.
I can hear you, but can you hear me?
I can hear you. You know what I'm gonna do after tonight's game, Rodney? I'm gonna be texting you and say that's 1 game down. That's 2 games down.
You ain't gonna text me again.
Yes, man.
Hey, let me tell you know why.
Yeah, we done bet before, Frank. You are defeated.
Hey, Rodney, I'm looking at the standings now. Everybody is all the teams that Frank is talking about. They're within 3 to 4 games of the A spot. Memphis, the Grizzlies are in 9, and you know it goes to 10 in the play-in. So Memphis is in 9, the Warriors in 8, and the Trailblazers in 7. Lakers in number 6. The Trailblazers and the Lakers both have 37 wins. The Warriors have 34. The Grizzlies have 33. The one that I think that can't catch them is the Spurs in the 10th place with 31. So what he's saying is very possible. But look on the bright side. You still got Alex Caruso.
All right, let me move with this. Let me move this on. All right, speaking of teams losing, I have to talk about the Brooklyn Nets, because guess what happened to them last night? While Dallas beat them and got a spot up in the seeding, the Nets now have lost 4 games in a row, and people are saying, hey, they don't have no need to panic and everything else. Talent, we said this yesterday, they should panic. Now I think they should be really panicking, and maybe I'm wrong, but you don't play like this into the playoffs. You just don't do it.
Let me tell you something. I was watching that game again in my little local watering hole with a diehard Net fan. He had everything Nets on. The hat, he had the thing, he had a necklace with the net gold logo hanging with the platinum chain. He was netted out. And when we walked in, we caught the end of that game and they lost, and I went over there, sat next to him, he knew what was coming. He was like, man, get out of here. I was like, no, bro. I said, you telling me? No, because this going to happen. He sounded like Rodney, really. He was like, this going to happen, and he going to come back. And I said, bro, if it was a spliff, we'd be all messed up. We all be high. Like, we can't count on the ifs. I said, your team has yet to show the power that they paid for. Y'all paid for the highest profile injured players that the league had to offer, and y'all haven't shown that collective effort yet. Y'all getting beat by teams you shouldn't lose by, and here we are at the end of the season, man. I said it before. You held them, damn Skippy, they better worry.
Absolutely. Rodney Perry, what you think about Brooklyn? Should they be worried? Should they be concerned? James Harden coming back? What you think?
I mean, of course, they definitely need James Harden to come back. They need the guy. They need him just for his court generalship. That's what you need. But is it over for them? By no means it's over, because you still got 3 of the best players in the world. You still put up more points than anybody else. So they still have more than a great chance to not only get into the playoffs, but to win it all.
All right, Fig, the big 3 for the Brooklyn Nets have only played 7 games all season together. Should we panic because they still coming down to the wire and they still have not played together yet, and they on a 4-game losing streak?
I'll tell you like this. Here's what scares me with the Nets. If James isn't able to come back in the first round, as it stands without the play-in, the Miami Heat are in the 7th spot. You got Jimmy Butler, Bam out of Bayou. Those are those are rough riders over there. They're defensive dogs. If the Nets meet up against them, they could really run into some problems in the first round. If right. At the way it stands now. Right. If they don't get back James Harden. Now you get back James Harden, you know, he's a floor general, like Rodney said. He could put up 40 on any given night, and he knows how to distribute the ball, which he's shown in the past. So I think if James Harden comes back, he rights the ship. But without James Harden, I think the Nets are in trouble, because Kyrie and KD haven't shown the ability to be able to sustain a lead.
All right, now the next topic I want to jump into, I got to move in fast because I want to make sure Fig gets in his top dogs. Here's the thing. I saw the news this morning from the game last night, and the Pacers, Indiana Pacers, had to end up suspending Coach Greg Foster. He's the assistant coach, Greg Foster, and they fined Goga Bitadits, that's his name. They had a heated argument on the sideline. I even saw the clip of this right now. It didn't seem as bad as the league is making it to be, but the players and everything else, somebody said off the record, everything else, it could have got a lot more heated and could have even been physical. Good look, bad look. What's your thoughts on this whole thing when you hear a player and a coach get into a skirmish on the court during a game, Talent? What's your thoughts?
Now, that's a pay-per-view worth money. That's a pay-per-view I'm waiting to pay for. The coach and the player gonna have it out and put some hands up. That was that had to be heated. If you suspend the assistant coach and find the player, am I correct?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I guess ain't no investigation needed. I guess they're telling you through that message who they think the real culprit is. Right. You guys both was out of line, so we're gonna find you. You still could play though. You go home. How dare you do that?
Rodney Perry, I'm gonna ask you this: do you think that player will even be on the Indiana Pacers this time next year because of the dust up happening with the coach and things like that? Because in my past experience and what I've seen in the NBA, teams take that kind of personal, and the player will be gone. What's your thoughts?
I mean, when you start looking at these organizations, the NBA is rarely like the NFL, but this is the one instance that they are like the NFL. They protect the whole of the NBA, and they don't like the inmates beating up on the guards.
Right.
So you might see this guy gone for good, really.
Right. Now you know what I think of, Fig? I think of Danny Ainge on the sideline being choked out by Robert Horry. I think of during a game. I think of everybody talking about Latrell Sprewell and obviously what happened with the Knicks coach and everything else. And I'm gonna say this off the top: that when this happens, all the players are generally gone. What?
You can't talk no more in between takes, man. When you ask questions, you can't take you can't start talking again and give your opinion. Because that's exactly what I was gonna say when Latrell Sprewell choked PJ Carlissimo and the Knicks was like, yo, we'll take him, because I was gonna say I don't know this guy's name and I don't know what he does, but I know he's welcome on the Knicks any day, because we want the player that's willing to choke out the coach, because that's the kind of guy we need in New York City. That's our type of guy. I don't know what he does or what position he plays, but I'm sure we can find a position for him on the Knicks, because that's our type of player. A choker coach type of player is what we always want in New York City.
I don't care what happens, but when a player from a team touches a coach, he's generally gone. I don't care how he will not see the upcoming season of that year. So, Fig, before you get ready to do the top dogs, let me just say this, because I want to say this. I just got the text saying that Bobby Valentine, former Mets and Red Sox manager, is about to run for mayor in Stamford, Connecticut, as an independent candidate. Now, I'll say this for the record: if he is as trashy as he was for the Red Sox, you could only imagine what he's going to do as mayor. All right, Fig, ready for the top dog?
So Bobby Valentino.
No, not Bobby Valentino. Remember Bobby Valentine?
Yeah, I got his albums. I got the last 3 albums.
No.
Hey, when he said, I thought he was talking about Billy Ray Valentine from the movie.
No, y'all are confusing him with him, because all those guys are winners. I'm talking about the loser with the Bobby Valentine name. That guy.
Ooh.
That guy.
I don't know about that. Yo, here we go with the top dogs of the week. We're going to make this quick. These are my top dogs for the week. You got to tell me what yours are. Ladies and gentlemen, first on my list, I went, I did this for Frank. I got my man Huskar Yona, the pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. He hit a 427-foot grand slam. He's a pitcher, y'all. After pitching 7 innings and only allowing 1 run, defeating the Nationals 6-1. That man Huskar Yona, he's a pitcher and he's a hitter. He's a switch hitter, baby. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I put my man, this is another one for Frank. I put my man down, Jason Tatum. He was doing the damn thing. He was in his bag, and he don't get injured. He dropped 60 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists in an overtime win against Coach Popovich Spurs. Now, you know Coach Popovich Spurs is known for defense. Nobody dropped 60 points on Coach Pop's team, but Jason Tatum did it. That's my man, the dog, beating the Spurs 143-140 in an overtime win. I give it to my man, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, baby, dropping 36 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, beating the Nets for the second time in 1 week. You know that's tough to do, to beat the same team 2 times in 1 week. 124-118. Giannis has expanded his game. He's hitting threes, mid-range shots. He's playing defense. He might win MVP again. I don't know. Number 4 on my list is the next big man in the NBA, my man Joel Embiid. 34 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, leading the Philadelphia 76ers over the heated, hot Houston Rockets 135-115. Give it to my man, Joel Embiid. He must have got some curry in his dinner. Last but not least, I'm giving it to this team. Not one player, the entire Atlanta Hawks team for a complete team effort beating the white-hot Phoenix Suns. Wait a minute, see. Oh, the Phoenix Suns record is 47-19. And the Atlanta Hawks beat them 135-103 in a blowout. An entire team effort. I'm giving that to the Atlanta Hawks. Those are my top dogs. Let me see what yours is.
Woo, nice.
Look, Frank taking his head. Look at Frank.
I like it. Good one. Hold on. Give it a minute.
He got somebody.
You damn right I do. You didn't mention Justin Means. He pitched a no-hitter for Baltimore, the best pitch game since 1969. He had 27 people come up, 27 people go down. The only person who reached base was on a wild pitch, and then he got out. First time in history, and made Baltimore Orioles history, and he didn't make it top dog.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I can't see everything. I didn't see it. I got the Huskar Yona. He and nobody did this since 2006. I can't see all of the sports, baby. I got 2 TVs,
we talked
and
about
I'm watching them simultaneously. I'm trying to catch everybody. I can't catch everything, Frank. I can't catch everything.
No, we talked about that, and we said, forget him because he made the sport more boring.
Right. No, he didn't. He's only
nobody scored. Rodney's right. Nobody scored, so that game is absolutely horrible.
Ooh.
It's horrible if you're a Seattle Mariner. Yeah, if you're a Baltimore Orioles,
if I watch a baseball game for 4 hours and nobody gets a hit, I'm disgusted. I just wasted 4 hours that I could have been painting my living room.
Who's your favorite baseball team?
The Yankees.
So if the Yankees were doing that to somebody, you would have been excited. If you were on the opposite side,
yes. In October, yes.
Yeah, for me, because it's such a historic thing, actually, he's the top 3 best baseball games ever pitched. We have to mention it. This is a sports show. Top 3.
Fig, stick by your top dog, son.
I'm sticking by my guns. Baseball.
Don't let it make you stutter like that.
Listen. Do you know what Spider's dad said yesterday? And he works for the Mets. He was like, it's too early in the season to even really, put anything on these guys because it's so the baseball season. So then 162 games.
He said that when the question was asked about the Yankees being early on. He didn't say that about a pitching performance because pitching the game is, if we look at all the sports and everything else, the hardest, I don't know about y'all, but everybody has their own perspective. But if you ask me, the hardest thing to do is to pitch a baseball game. It's harder than to quarterback a football game. It's harder it's harder than to be a point guard in a basketball game. It's harder to be in hockey because the pitcher has to use that one arm for 9 innings. But
think about this. The players, the hitters, the big hitters haven't even gotten to their rhythm yet because it's still very early in the season. I want to see them do that in October.
That's what Albert Pujols said when they cut him. I ain't even getting my thing yet. But he's like, well, sorry, you got to go. That's what happened yesterday.
Yeah, but say, here, we're going to sign this last check for you.
Yeah, they have to. They have to by contract. They have to. But he said, I ain't even in my thing yet.
He's like, you can fire me, but I'm going to give you severance pay. Oh yeah, I'm good.
All right, now let me ask you guys. Let's see. I had another question to ask you guys. If the Falcons are going to trade Julio Jones, and I'm going to start with you, because yesterday we talked about Julio Jones. Last night, literally, as soon as we brought it up yesterday, last night, the word came out from Atlanta that the Falcons are looking for a trade partner with Julio Jones. And if they do trade him, Talent, where would you like to see him go? And I'm going to throw my thing out there first. I'm going to say I would really like to see him go play with Baltimore or possibly Detroit. I would love to see Baltimore, especially with Lamar Jackson as QB. Where would you like to see him at, Talent?
Why Detroit?
Detroit, because they got Jared Goff right now, and he's one guy who loves to throw the deep pass. That's why I said Detroit. You got 60 seconds. We out of time. Who you got?
Of course, I would love to see him come to the Jets. That's a no-brainer. We need those pieces. Depending on what quarterback we're going to end up with, we definitely going to need those pieces to go with them. You know what I mean? So I would say my Jets.
Okay. I should have said the parameters and don't pick your favorite team, but I'll let you slide with the Jets because I didn't.
We need it. We need it.
Yeah, you do. Rodney Perry, if Julio Jones goes, where would you like to see him land at real fast? You got 60 seconds.
Not no damn Detroit.
Okay, where would you like to see him go?
I don't know, man. I'd like to see him. Let Julio go play with the GOAT. Let him go down there to Tom Brady, get him a ring, man. He paid his dues.
They don't even have the spot for him. Hey, where would you like to see him go?
I'd like to. Now this gonna mess you up because people talk so bad about Cam Newton. I'd like to see him go to the Patriots and give Cam Newton another target this year, man. Because that with the way they talking about him and trying to run him out of the league, I think is absolutely horrible. And with a receiver like Julio Jones that could get the kind of separation that he needs, I'd like to see him go to the Patriots.
That's a good choice.
Huh? I can't disagree with that one. The only reason why I didn't say that was because I didn't want to pick my own favorite team. Anyway, that's the show, y'all. It's the weekend. I know you all got some stuff to do for the weekend and everything else, but tell everybody out there how they can follow you, Talent, Rodney and Fig.
Hey, everybody out there, if you are in the Maryland area, I want to see you guys come out tomorrow. Sully's Comedy Club. We're going to be putting it down. Me, Cleon, the comedian. We're going to be having some fun out there. So make sure you come on out. Follow me on Instagram, Talent the Comedian. I'll be posting all that information and everything. It's the birthday weekend for me. So Sunday, 3 birthday shows. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Enjoy your day.
Talent, I want you to have the most humblest and happiest birthday, brother. I wish you the best on this weekend, brother. Rodney Perry, what you doing this weekend? What's going on?
The humblest? You wish that?
Yes, the humblest and happiest birthday. Yes, I do.
RodneyPerry.com, man, and Rodney Perry Live on all social media. Who says that?
I say it. That's the reason why I said it. I said it. And happiest, quietest. And
no, I'm not disputing happy, but humble.
Humble, be humble, cool, happy on your. Anyway, Big, how they follow you?
Yo, man, let me tell you like this. This weekend, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I'm hanging out with my man Talent on Sunday. I'm getting back on stage, baby. That's right, you heard it. And you can follow your boy Comedian Fig on all social media platforms at Comedian Fig. And the box seats Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. The best damn sports show on TV. Y'all better be there Sunday.
Fig, you didn't say where? Where's the show?
Oh, we're gonna be in White Plains at the Coliseum, White Plains, New York. Coliseum.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard it. Y'all gonna be recording it? We're gonna get a special recording live broadcast.
I'm gonna take mad pictures, record a little bit of it. We're gonna get some nice posts on there. And it's 2 shows in White Plains. We start one show in the Stress Factory in Jersey, and then we shoot up the White Plains for 5 o'clock and at 8 o'clock. 5 is sold out, people. So there's only a couple of tickets left for the 8. If you're looking, inbox me, Talent the Comedian on Instagram.
Well, all the ladies who watch this show consistently, I want to thank you for your support. And most importantly, if you're a mother, I want to wish you the biggest and best happy Mother's Day. Thank you all for being so supportive. There's a couple of you all who support us every single day. I can't think of your names off the top of my head, But please believe me, I will go on and wish you the happiest Mother's Day. Fig's giving y'all a hug right now. You saw that? He's giving you a hug.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. That's right. All the box seat mothers. Happy Mother's
All the
Day.
box seat mothers, we want to wish y'all a happy Mother's Day. I want to wish a happy Mother's Day to my family, my mothers, and my wife, and of course everybody, man. Yo,
hold on. If you're a mom, if you're a mother and you are a Laker fan, because they're losing, I got to put these on sale. So they're not worth the cotton they printed on. So.
Before we go, yes, absolutely. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and to the guys that carry millions of children in their sack. Well done, Jim.
All right, y'all. We out. We'll see y'all Monday. To the guys. Only Roger.